What are the best trading calendars? How do you know what bond yields, international stocks are doing? Where do you find the fastest news releases and instant analysis of the outcomes? These are the questions that traders ask me every single day. And in this video, I'm going to share with you my top 7 free fundamental trading resources, websites, and news feeds that I visit every day to get on top of the key stories. With the sheer amount of information out there are plenty of great resources that haven't made my list, but this is my personal list of the resources that I look at on a daily basis. And so it's a great place to start, and it's a good place to get you a comprehensive look into the markets before you delve into the resources that you decide are the ones that are your favorite going forward. So let's dive into it. Number 1, best trading calendars. The first thing I look at when I start my day is to the data that was released overnight and what is expected for the day. My favorite economic calendar is dailyfx.com. Now, I'm a little biased because I built dailyfx.com and I'm kind of proud of the way it has become. It is single-handedly the most comprehensive news trading calendar out there. And you can click on each of these events to see the recent trend. I just scanned it real quick to see the positive and negative surprises overnight. For example, if there's a weaker than expected Euro area industrial production report like you see here, I'll be looking to short euros and not to go long euros. That's how I would use the data to help me form the trades I want to take. I'll also look at what is expected for the New York session to see whether there are certain pairs that I should be avoiding that coming day. Now, usually, if there's an 8:30 a.m. New York time data, I'll be out of any dollar trades before that release. But on this given day, you can see that the next release is not until 10 a.m. New York time. So that tells me that if I don't have a view of the data, I could potentially stay in the trade until about 10 a.m. New York time and make sure I close it by that time. I also like the MyFX book trading calendar. It is easy to read and they're quicker to update with the outcome than dailyfx.com because dailyfx does it manually. I've included a link to all of these resources in the description of this video. But in terms of the fastest data releases that gets us to number 2, unless you have a $2,000 a month Bloomberg terminal, you really need to be on Twitter because that's where the data will come out the fastest. My favorite real-time news handle to follow is Financial Juice. And once again, I'll include the link in the description. They also have a voice squawk box feature for paid members where they speak out the headlines even faster. That costs about $99 a month or less if you sign up for an annual lifetime membership. But you don't need that. Usually, when you look at Financial Juice's Twitter feed, it's out, within seconds of the release. Number 3, if you're trading Forex, you need to be looking at Forex Live, either their Twitter handle or their website. Aside from the data recaps they will cover and any official comments that we have from central bankers or presidents that you need to know, along with any relevant headlines that have been released in the past, 4, 8, 12 hours. Financial Juice will cover that as well, but the difference between Financial Juice and Forex Live is that Financial Juice only provides a headline, whereas Forex Live will provide more context, even if it's just a few lines of what they think or how they think the market should interpret the data or where the market expectations may be for a specific economic release. So that's very valuable. By this point, I'm sure you'll understand that fundamentals from news to the big stories and trends matter. They affect how everything from stocks, Forex, gold, oil move on a month-to-month, week-to-week, and even day-to-day basis. And that's learning about fundamentals and staying on top of it is so important. Now, number 4, my 4th favorite free fundamental trading resource is actually Tradingview. Yes, this is a charting package, but it is also a very valuable resource for a quick glance at how the world markets is doing. Every day when I start my day, I have my global markets watch list set up and I'll glance at it, and in a glance, I'll see how the European market's doing. What do the Asian markets do overnight? How are US stock futures doing? I can also see how US yields, gold, and oil are doing and look quickly at whether it's a risk on or risk off day or whether it's a pro or anti-dollar day. Now, number 5, look for my daily morning snapshot video on Twitter. My handle is CaffeineFX. Every morning I post a 1 to 2 minute video on the big stories moving the markets and what to watch. It usually comes out between 8 to 8:30 a.m. New York time, and people love to just watch it quickly for a snapshot on everything I think you should know to be prepared for the day. Now, number 6, every morning I also read Mark Chandler's Mark to Market note. It contains pretty much everything you need to know about what's affecting the Forex markets and the global markets in general, from the big stories to the day-to-day economic data. His note is very, very comprehensive, yet concise, easy to read. And if there's one macro note that you read every day, make sure it's his, because he also talks a lot about market expectations, which is kind of hard for, a regular trader to determine, to understand, to really get a sense of, what is driving the markets and what's expected in the markets. And Mark does a really great job of synthesizing this. I highly recommend it. I read it every day, and I encourage you to do so as well. He also puts out a note over the weekend, usually on Sunday, that gives a very thorough outlook for the week ahead. And, when there's central bank rate decisions, he'll talk about what is expected, what's priced in. I think it should be a must read for all Forex traders. And I've also included the link to his site in the description of the video. Now, number 7, I also really like ING Economics. They are geared towards institutionals, but I particularly love the central bank meeting previews, like this European Central Bank meeting cheat sheet, where they run you the scenarios for the dovish, neutral, and hawkish outcomes. They have a website, but I think it's easier to follow and you get the most updated articles if you're on their Twitter feed. They also share some really valuable charts and macro opinions on big stories. Other sites I really like include tradingeconomics.com. I like to use it to search for economic data trends and to build my VK Traders data predictions calendar. So for example, if I want to see how New Zealand Consumer Price Index fared in the third quarter, which way it could surprise, I'll go to tradingeconomics.com, search New Zealand food inflation, and see whether prices have increased or decreased on the food level, which is a key component of CPI over the last quarter. And if the overall trend is weaker, I'll be looking for opportunities to sell the New Zealand dollar ahead of the inflation report, and to avoid opportunities and to avoid setups that are telling me to buy. So with this information, you can kind of lead yourself in one direction of trade or another. Last but certainly not least, there's also a lot of valuable information on the major financial news sites like CNBC, Bloomberg, and the Wall Street Journal. These are all behind a paywall, but I recommend you subscribe to at least one of them because the stories are always changing and the headlines will only get you so far. You don't need a PhD to make money trading with fundamentals, but you do need to read more, to learn more, and these sites are the best places for not only real-time analysis of the stories that are happening now, but also in-depth analysis of the most important stories that are affecting the financial markets on a broader, longer-term swing trading basis. So all of this information is completely free, and I hope you find it valuable. And these are the resources that I use to look at and trade every day. And if you want to learn more about how to use fundamentals to trade Forex, check out the special discount link in the description below.